Marjorie Taylor Greene had another patented Marjorie Taylor Greene moment behind closed doors. So in the Hill here, they say that there was a House briefing on the Chinese spy balloon that happened about a week ago. And during this meeting, where all these senators are getting briefed on the facts behind the scenes and why they took the action they took, why the White House did it, apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene started screaming at the top of her lungs. So let me give you some of this article here. A classified briefing for House lawmakers on the Chinese... Oh, excuse me, it wasn't with senators, it was with representatives. A classified briefing for House lawmakers on the Chinese spy balloon turned tense on Thursday when Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene went after administration officials for waiting days before shooting down the surveillance device. Quote, "I had to wait in line the whole time. I was, I think, the second to last person, and I chewed them out just like the American people would have," Greene told The Hill. "I tore them to pieces." Biden administration officials briefed House members behind closed doors in the Capitol Thursday morning on this weekend's downing of a Chinese spy balloon off the Carolina coast, which capped off a days-long saga of following the balloon as it floated over the U.S. One lawmaker who attended the briefing said the exchange between Greene and the officials included profanities. Quote, when she got to ask questions, the lawmaker recalled, she was yelling out saying, "Bullshit," and, "I don't believe you." Just screaming and yelling, irrational in my estimation, the lawmaker added. Republicans have criticized the administration's decision to wait to shoot down the balloon until it was over water, which allowed the device to travel through several states across the country. President Biden said he ordered the U.S. military to shoot down the balloon as soon as possible, and his national security officials determined that the best time to do that was when it got over water. Greene said she expressed that GOP sentiment during Thursday's briefing. I said the president may be a Democrat, but he's still the president of the United States, and they made him look like a fool and made him look weak the week before the State of the Union. I've said that publicly too, by not shooting it down, Greene recalled. And I said there was nothing I heard there today that gave me any confidence in what they did. They tried to give me some more excuses, and I said, I don't want to hear more of your excuses, Greene said when asked about how others in the room reacted to her time at the microphone. He said, "Well, that's a matter of opinion." I said, "No, you're nothing but excuses, and it's wrong, and I'm just telling you, this is how the American people see it, and it's a serious problem." Representative Gregory Meeks, the top Democrat on House Foreign Affairs Committee, said there was tension in the room during the briefing. There's some members who just don't want to believe what they said. They say, "Oh, I don't believe you." That kind of thing. "I don't trust you," he said. So that's the kind of tension, just the fight back. Okay. So apparently there were people muttering on the other side. I don't know if that refers to Democrats or Republicans. I assume it's about Democrats. And people thought it was a little yikesy and a little bizarre and a little strange and a little awkward, to say the least. So look, you guys remember when this story broke, my reaction was, I don't know what's going on, right? So all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you hear that there's a giant balloon in the sky with Chinese writing on it, floating over the country. That almost seems like something out of a cartoon. Why? Because we know China's spying on us, and we're spying on them. And usually they'd be using high-tech stuff like satellites, for example. So to have something so blatant and so brazen honestly just raises more questions than offers answers. And, if I was president, I already talked about this, I would say, I need more information, right? You can't come to me and say, "Sir, what should we do?" And those are the only facts you give me. What the hell are we paying our intelligence agencies for if they can't give me more intelligence on this exact matter? So China was like, it's a weather balloon. And, in the U.S., we're like, it's a spy balloon. And all we knew was basically what the headline showed, which is giant Chinese balloon that has Chinese writing on it that's floating over the country. Okay, so I just look at that and I go, weird, bizarre. Maybe call in China's ambassador, talk to them, try to get a meeting with Xi Jinping, talk to him, talk to, your own administration, your own officials, your own intelligence experts. Try to figure out what the hell is going on, right? And they went with, I honestly believe Biden was pushed to this position by relentless media propaganda, where they were all melting. Oh my God, Chinese Bible. Meanwhile, we have the conversation every week. There's articles about it every week. TikTok is farming everybody's data. And it goes right to the Chinese government. So, you're so worried about, oh my, China getting information, bro. Meanwhile, let me post this TikTok video of me taking a shit. It's like, all right, well, they probably get more information from TikTok, right? So it's just confusing, and we just don't have enough information. But Biden was pushed to, me, bro, I'm not weak. I'm really tough. I'll shoot it down. I don't even care, bro. I'll shoot it down. Fine, I'll shoot it down. And so he shoots it down, and then the conservatives who were begging for him to shoot it down, they flip, and they're like, you shot it down, but like, you waited too long and stuff, bro. Jesus Christ. So what do you want him to do? Shoot it down when it's floating over a city and have the remnants land on a city? Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted? Do we even know what's in we don't know what the balloon is. So we don't even know what's in the balloon. Imagine a scenario where we shoot this balloon and then it just like releases anthrax everywhere. Now, it didn't happen, and I'm not saying it would happen. I'm just saying imagine a scenario where that did happen, and then basically all the hawkish morons would have manifested a crisis out of nothing, right? And so if I'm a congressperson and I'm in a closed door meeting learning about this situation, I would just be trying to gather information, to think about it, to think, well, what should be done? What can I do? How do we move forward? Instead, Marjorie Taylor Greene is she's just playing a game. She's playing her good little tribal partisan role. Bro, I yelled at them really loud and stuff. That's what I did. I'm a rebel. I'm a rogue. I'm a truth teller, bro. I told them, you're really bad. You're bad? Wow, you're so brave. Well, I guess what's amazing to me is this. I understand people being like tribal and partisan and whatever for issues that are already deeply political. So abortion. I would expect Marjorie Taylor Greene to get into a screaming match with some pro-choice Democrat because she's super anti-abortion. But when you have an issue like this spy balloon, where nobody really knows what the hell is going on, and you already have, I have very strong opinions, and I'm very angry, and I'm going to yell at you, when they're just telling you what happened, and what went down, and why they did what they did, why would you yell? Why would you get excited? Why would you virtue signal over this? And that is what this is. It's a virtue signal, so she can come out and say, I'm tough, I'm strong, bro. I'm repping my people and my party. Because remember, Marjorie Taylor Greene was recently accused of being a sellout. Why? Because she didn't go along with Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert in pressing McCarthy, who's now the Speaker of the House. She sided with the establishment. She sided with Kevin McCarthy. And so there's a lot of people to her right who look at her like she's weak, she's a sellout, she's a cuck. And so now she's virtue signaling to try to make up for that fact. And yelling in briefings about a giant balloon. I have strong opinions about the balloon. My takes are right on the balloon. And I will go after you if you disagree with me on the balloon. Jesus Christ, lady. Jesus Christ. Wasn't she one during Biden's State of the Union? Wasn't she also screaming liar at the exact point where Biden was being factually correct? Remember? Cutting Social Security and Medicare? And he was like, you guys introduced plans to do that. And she's like, liar! Hey, bitch, we have it on paper. It was Rick Scott's 11-point plan, his agenda that he wanted you guys to run on in the midterms. And it wasn't just him. It was also Wisconsin boy. What's his name? Ron Johnson. Same thing. He released a plan. One of them wanted to sunset it every year. The other one wanted to sunset it every 5 years. You have the standard Republican position is privatizing it or cutting it. So, look, if he's going to call you out accurately, at least own it and then argue your position. Yes, that is what we want to do, but now let me tell you why. It's the right thing to want to cut Social Security. At least rep your position. They can't. They're little weasels. They're little weasels. Here's another example of it here. Super strong opinions on the Chinese spy balloon when they're just being told the facts of what went on and why they made the decision they made. It's just, doesn't give you much hope, does it? Doesn't give you much hope. You can't even have a simple briefing on something that happened without the virtue signalers virtue signaling. I have really strong takes on this. You're going to listen to it. Everybody in the meeting's like, oh, gee, can we move this along, please? Please, for the love of God, for the love of God. I forget who said this back in the day, but just because you're yelling doesn't mean you're right. And that is my main point to get across to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.